No, 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 no. Why I'm saying no? No, man. So for 4 days, okay, 4 days, the trial ran for the game, Mr. Jaycion Taylor. And Miss Priscilla Rainey, the celebrity star he was acting with, he was working with, oh my goodness, came back with a guilty verdict for the 10 million. We're going to talk about it because this is crazy. But, first off, I'm going to keep it real and say go out and purchase that Game 1992 album. The joint's decent. Him as a man, I'm not going to let this affect him because we've seen many situations where even though a woman's won, that they were leading on an individual and then something happens and then they backtrack it. Whatever the situation is, the jurors found him guilty. So let's talk about it. So for 4 days, they debated on the game, aka Mr. Jaycion Taylor's case, where Priscilla Rainey made a claim that he sexually assaulted her. And the thing is, they were both intoxicated. When you have two intoxicated people and you have intoxicated feelings flying around, when sober thoughts start coming back, that intoxication may be criticized more than it should have. Because they found the guilty verdict, there is no evidence supposing his innocence, but at the same time, for her to say that it was unwanted is her saying it. It's not something that can be checked emotionally at that time. So, do I feel personally that even though there's a guilty verdict, that she was really trying to aim to get a financial stimulus package off of him? Maybe. It's always possible. Should he have done what he done? No. My thing I have to say about seeing Priscilla Rainey's pictures and things, I do not feel that this woman was worth it. And I say that because knowing a little bit about the game, having followed him as, someone who appreciates his lyrical talents, I've seen some women he's been with. And I feel like out of all the women he's been with, she's on the lower spectrum of the totem pole anyway. He probably was just having his moment where he was a man like we all do, where he's like, you know what, she's kind of bad. Let me see what's going on in this department. But no, there's no way that he's seen as guilty in this situation. And when I look back on other situations, that some people are getting off, that's why I'm screaming no. It's not no because, if he's guilty for his situation, but it's for the sheer fact that there are so many other individuals that have gone through similar situations and have gotten off when all the evidence was stacked against him. So how he didn't, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure of the implications. But verbatim in detail in the link below that you'll catch in the description, I actually did read that he touched her bare butt, and it said bare vaginal area. So I'm not sure if he would have had the chance if she wasn't enticing, like to be that close. Was she wearing panties? You know what I mean? I guess that's not essential to the fact he's able to touch her, but that's the question. What was the scenario in which he was able to do this? Because as men, we know there's no way you get in a position to touch a woman in some certain way unless you truly force yourself on her. And she didn't say, she said sexual assault because he touched her. She didn't say rape, which is why it's real questionable. Whether or not, because he didn't really penetrate her. So how did he get to touch it? And that was my thing about the whole case, how he was able to be within a proximity to be violating her if she didn't want to be near him. And they went out somewhere and this happened versus they were chilling, intoxicated, then went out. I feel like there's a lot of parts to the story within a 4-day period that couldn't really be examined, and it just turned out that it looked bad for him. I'm not saying that this affects the game's character as a man. I don't know him like that. But in this situation as an artist, we know that artists have women thrown at them all day long. And I'm not saying that they can't trip over that moment and think they deserve everything and start violating people, but that's what brings me to a questionable moment where I truly want to find out what the stipulations around the whole circumstances are. The same thing the jurors knew that made them say, hey, he's guilty. So it's hard to make a conclusion about it. It's just sad that the final conclusion is, hey, game, we need that $10 million for her. Because that's not a small amount of money. And as we know, the Game just came out with his album 1992. Like I said, go check that out. You know, as a lyricist and different things, that doesn't take away from his talent. That his first week sales weren't amazing, but I hope the longevity of his overall sales gets better, because he's one of the few lyricists we have left in the game versus a lot of other MCs coming in that is making what they call music, but it's really some mumbo jumbo other stuff. So, you know, that's a shout out and that's a testament to the Game and his talents. It's just sad now that Miss Priscilla Rainey has a payday off of the Game. And another topic I want to get to within the same area is looking at how our artists and different things, what they're saying in their music and what they're doing. We see that a lot of artists and the mainframe isn't very respectful to women. It's not open your arms. It's not I want a wife. It's not I'm looking for a good girl to love forever. It's talking about hoes, talking about whores, talking about prostitutes, talking about using women, one night stands. That's the whole ideology behind the current music we have being pumped out. So with that being said, I don't understand why these vixens get up under a rapper and expect that rapper to fall in love. That's never made sense to me, because you're in a culture where you're victimizing yourself to MCs who tell you up front. It's not even something you got to ask about. They let you know up front that they're looking for a hoe. They let you know this. That's what their music says. That's what their character and their persona of their creativity tells you. So why are you thinking that this man wants to love you forever? And then if you don't get the respect or the love you desire or you want it, you go out, you make all types of posts on Facebook, posts on Twitter, you go out and you damn that man's character. And you know, this situation aside, if you don't have any physical implications of somebody falling in love with you, you're just hanging out, you're intoxicated, and it's late at night, or you guys are alone, to think that this man may not have a desire to want to be with you is pure idiocracy. It's purely a regime of stupidness that these people are leading. And by people, I mean these women. These women that are video vixens, different things. Like, don't expect a man to respect you if you're wearing a short dress, barely wearing nothing, and it's late at night and you call him up 4 a.m. to come over. That's not what he's thinking. He's not thinking, let's have tea, cake, and talk. This isn't your girlfriends that you're normally talking to. This is a grown man that has wants, needs, and he works hard and makes money. And he's not going to waste his time with someone that he can't find a benefit out of speaking to. You got knowledge he needs. You know, some type of connections. What, you got feedback, creativity to give to his album? You got none of that. But you still expect for him to entice your company full, all out, respectful. When in their music, they tell you what they think of you. And that's what I never understood about a lot of women in general. You know what a certain lifestyle a person leads. Why do you expect that lifestyle to change because you show up? It is not you that changes a person's lifestyle. It is that person's mind and choice to do so. So in this case, I'm a little confused where everything's headed to. I hear what she's saying. I see what happened. I get what the outcome is. But this is a small example of many women trying to sleep again with celebrities and cause issues. And then it's a problem when they get unintoxicated and sober up. That's not what this game's about. That's not what the game's about. Either you're going to play your position and be that video vixen you want it to be, or you're going to play that upstanding lady and have respect for yourself. And this has nothing to do with women dressed scandalous, and they're asking for something. No, this has to do with their character and their mentality that's messed up, thinking that a man of this caliber is going to look at them as a wife when they got a wife and a bunch of bad models always around them. It's time for a reality check, and these women need to get it together. Stop hunting for a man's pockets and start building on your own greatness. And that goes for everybody, to be honest. But in this situation, you got to build your own greatness. You know, this is one guilty plea to many times that a woman claimed a celebrity did something. It's time for us to do better overall. Shout to the game, the future workings of Miss Priscilla Rainey, and just 1992. I hope that album just grows and gets bigger. All respect to everyone. For daily content, subscribe, like, share, tune in, because I got a lot of good stuff coming for you guys. You know, so just stick there, subscribe, check me out. All rights reserved.